everyone, I hope you enjoyed those short videos about my books. My name is Nathan Lumbatis, and I'm a mental health therapist here in Dothan, Alabama, but I also write young adult Christian fantasy, and I've been asked to tell you a little bit about my books, the writing process, and the importance of books in my life. The Sons and Daughters series has 4 books. Currently, there's 3 that are published, and I'm working on the 4th, and so I hope to have that one finished by December. And it follows the story of Daniel, who's an orphan, and he gets adopted by some pretty comically horrible people and decides to run away. And he and his friends hide in a cave in Oregon, and then they are magically transported to Peru. You got to have some magic in there if it's a fantasy, right? And they get adopted by the god of life and set on a quest to defeat an ancient evil. Um, and so the first book focuses a lot on what it means to be adopted into God's family as believers. And the second one focuses more on the role of self-sacrifice and the role of loss in a believer's life. The third focuses on God really working on changing us from our pasts, even pasts that are really difficult and hard. And the fourth will focus primarily on forgiveness and God rooting out resentment and anger as he transforms us into the men and women, the sons and daughters that he's designed us to be. Who's my target audience? Well, right now it's you, so go buy all of my books. Actually, the first book was written to appeal to kids in the 4th grade and up. But like most series, especially young adult series, the target audience tends to grow with the age of the main characters. So while the first book was targeting 4th grade, the second book, is really geared toward maybe 6th, 7th grade, and so on. And by the time that the characters are in the 4th book, which again I hope to have finished by Christmas time, one of the oldest characters is around 18 or 19 years old. And definitely there's deeper, more complicated themes that play out in that book that would be of interest to older teens and adults, but certainly still easily accessible for kids, and hopefully encouraging and interesting for readers of all ages. I wrote the Sons and Daughters series because, especially early in my career, especially early in private practice, I worked a lot with clients, with teens and children who were in foster care and who were adoptees. And there were recurrent themes that I kept seeing in these people's lives. Difficulty understanding their place in life, their identity, and where their self-worth came from. And that sparked the idea of writing a story or a series of stories that hopefully would help teenagers and children really understand identity and adoption into God's family, and their intrinsic self-worth as children of God, in a concrete way for teens and children. And so in a nutshell, that's really what inspired me to write these books. So which books were inspirations for me? Would I be any sort of fantasy writer if C.S. Lewis and Tolkien weren't inspirations for me? Of course, Harry Potter, Percy Jackson, all of those good, famous young adult stories really impacted me a lot. I think one of the things that had a huge impact on me was growing up. I did a lot of reading, of course. I homeschooled for parts of high school, and for some years in elementary school. And I grew up in the country. And so when you homeschool, you have a lot more time. So me and my sister would often go up in the woods and we would dream up stories. And when we were young, of course, we would use our imaginations and act them out. And I got interested in writing down stories and things that she and I would talk about a lot. And so that started that journey for me of exploring life through writing. And those early experiences just brought a lot of inspiration for that. Books have had a huge impact in my life, not just, as I was saying a moment ago, because of inspiration, but because of their ability to allow the reader to learn whatever they want to learn. You know, if I'm not reading, then I am at the mercy of other people to teach me things. You know, and people don't always have time. I don't always have access to expertise, or the people who have expertise in something that I'm interested in or that I want to learn. But I can go pick up a book, and at my own pace, I can learn anything. I can become a master of anything. And so I think in that way, books provide freedom, and it gives us the power to delve into whatever knowledge we want to delve into and become masters of whatever knowledge we want to master. And so in that way, it opens doors for us and for our futures, and for who we want to become. So in the same way that books have been inspiring and opened a lot of doors for me, I hope that they do the same for you. I hope that you find encouragement today, and that as you've listened to a little part of my journey, that you also find motivation to keep exploring different worlds, different bodies of knowledge through books, and that for you they open doors of opportunity. Thanks for taking time to listen to me today and for learning a little bit more about my writing.